The Internet of Gamers have been whining and arguing what platform provides gaming supremacy since the dawn of time, when apes discovered an alien obelisk that signaled the dawn of man. It's a debate that's part meme, part trench warfare, and almost 100% stupid. We consider ourselves connoisseurs of internet history, and the debate around PC versus console gaming will rage, doom eternal, for generations to come. Let's add some fuel to the dumpster fire today in today's video from the DMGT.
Hey, Danny with the DMGT here. Make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel to get more music, video game, and tech content. Now, there are a few factions within this debate that we need to break down and dive into a little bit more before you can get the full context of this conversation of consoles versus PC, especially if we want to separate meme from reality. Faction 1, the person who identifies as a PC. Now, these folks are really the ones that lit fire to this debate, and like all internet factions that fueled their identity through a pinhole view of the world, the person who identifies as a PC was born out of a perceived slight to their identity with the rise of console gaming. And as console gaming picked up steam over the years, they really never got over it. As console gaming began to outpace PC gaming as the generations advanced, these people dug into their position, proselytizing PC gaming over everything. Through the years, they've created some sick memes to try and change the viewpoint of who they considered the huddled masses or the console peasants. But ultimately, this is really a case of a vocal minority being louder than its peers. Like all great radicalized factions, there was an opposing viewpoint that picked up speed, and thus was born faction number 2, the person who identifies as a gaming console. Now, these folks really started to kick into high gear with the era of the big 3 consoles, PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo. These are the people that began to fight tooth and nail against PC gaming, proselytizing that console gaming was indeed superior to PCs. These two factions, not unlike the US political two-party system, are of course going to be doomed to fight to the bitter end until we reach the singularity where we're both PC and console at the same time, which we've never been closer to that actually happening with our current state of gaming. Now, there are other factions at play here, the PC gamer and the console gamer, that kind of just do them and get on with their lives, really. Now, these are people, so we're told, that have other hobbies and interests outside of gaming and technology, loving families, and fat dicks. In these two spaces is where we at the DMGT live. Okay, so we've laid out the groundwork. Now, can we get to the clickbait title at hand, why console gaming is better? The answer is, it's better if it fits your needs and life more than a PC. Console exclusives do in fact provide a very high gaming experience that you can't really get on other systems such as Nintendo and PlayStation, even though Microsoft has kind of gone the way of allowing their exclusives from Xbox over on PC. We cannot downplay the ease of use of just plug and play and everything just working. And there's a concise cost up front that you know you're gonna have to sink into to get up and running. And on the same cost conversation, you do get a longer investment on fewer dollars at the end of the day, especially if you hold on to one console for the lifetime of that cycle. And if you're not a person spending hours on end looking at graphical comparisons between PC and console, you're gonna have a great time. As of this recording, sure, the Nintendo Switch is starting to show its age a little bit, but the Xbox Series X and the PS5 gives you almost identical performance. Speaking of those two latest consoles, we're pretty close to replicating the highs of what PCs can do on consoles now. While previous generations PCs were still thousands of miles ahead, this generation, that gap has closed, maybe hundreds of miles, but it has closed. And we're talking about gaps at the super high-end level that's pretty much out of reach for the vast majority of people. We will say, PC gaming now and potentially into the future will always have the advantage as far as gaming potential when you're talking graphics, performance, and honestly availability of titles. Outside of the major AAA studios exclusives that exist on consoles, there are literally thousands and thousands of games that you can only play on PC. Now, of course, PCs are not all created equal, so that potential very much varies on your skills as a hobbyist and your available budget. Consoles, however, offer a lower barrier to entry, and for many people, that's what makes it the superior platform. You can't downplay accessibility. With your console, you can be pretty confident that it's going to last for years and years, with the added benefit of first-party studios developing games for the consoles will squeeze out every last bit of potential performance on these games, which which in turn provides console gamers better experiences throughout the life cycle of the system. If the only thing on your mind is plugging in, playing video games, and not doing much thinking, then console gaming is better. Overall, we're not looking to change your mind if you identify as a PC or a console. What we're really hoping for is, long term, that the technological singularity happens and we all become a PC console human hybrid who is capable of playing Breath of the Wild with ray tracing and 8K resolutions from the comfort of our own eyeball monitors while we sit in yet another tech company meeting about data and being driven by it. Spencer wrote this script, by the way, if you're wondering what's going on. Look, just go buy whatever you want, have fun playing video games, let other people be, whichever platform that may be on, and maybe buy a hat or a sweater. Stay tuned for the other side of this argument if you're already getting triggered, but hopefully you're fine. Leave a thumbs up again if you like, subscribe to the channel, and we'll catch you next time.